All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. What needs to happen in order for us to see the Toronto real estate condo market actually see some fire gains or spikes in the market? Let me tell you, it takes a lot. And if you are counting on the fact that the 2025 will deliver, and if you're banking that the 2025 will bring a magical solution, my friend, I think you're in for a huge surprise. So I would like to get into some number and I would like to present to you what it will take in order for a condo market, Toronto real estate condo market and the surroundings to actually see that boost, that spikes. So there's obviously two things, a huge factors, and that is obviously demand and the affordability. So those are the two factors. Now, the interest rates are heading down in the right direction and the affordability is getting on the table for the new buyers in time. They're promising a lot of rate cuts, but what will we do to the investors? What are we going to do to the people that already invested and are praying to exit in 2025? That's what not a lot of people are taking into consideration and not calculating. So you have two different streams. They're kind of against each other. The buyers want the cheapest rate and the best possible outcome to buy that unit, and the sellers don't care really about the rate. They just want to sell the unit as long as they get paid and they cash in some equity. So let's get right into some numbers. Okay, so the numbers, obviously we need to talk about the MLS numbers and what is going on. I would like to take into consideration that 40,000 units are entering the market one way or the other, which means that the pre-con will pump out an additional 40,000 units in 2025 and 2026, which means more inventory, more listings, more units in just 2 years. 40,000 units. That's a huge number. But now, let's calculate what's going on the MLS. In order for us to move the market, or anyways, historically, what we have seen, we need about 1,200 units or 2 to 3 months of inventory. I'm not talking about healthy or not healthy. I'm talking about a market that's moving the needle, right? That will move the needle. So on the contrary, so what do we actually have today? So today on the MLS in 416, we have about 5,200 units, which is about 9 to 12 months of inventory. So look at the difference from 1,200, where we see the flow and we might even see gains, but we're just talking about the market moving forward to 5,200 units in 416. That is huge, which means we need an increase. Okay, let me put this down. We need an increase of 150%, 150% of activity increase in order for us with these numbers to see a push, a gain. I did not even calculate the 40,000 units that are coming, right? So you see where I'm going with this. If we even see an uptick, there's more inventory coming, more unit counts. And then 52% on that. So I don't know what, okay, so let's write it here. So 52% of sales, what we have seen so far, 52% were between 500 and 700 $50,000. So 52% of sales in condo market were in this price point. So if you're selling a condo, right, in the market, and you bought something like from pre-con, like let's say in 2021 or 2022, and you paid, $1,400 or $1,600 a foot, what are we even talking about here? We're talking about like a unit that's like 450,000 square feet, right? Like it's like a small bachelor units, and those units are not moving at all. And the majority of the units that were actually produced, built, catered to were students, newcomers, uh, business people just there for that particular location because they're alone or they need to be in and out and all of that stuff, right? So think about that for a second. Now we're going to be bombarded with units that don't serve anybody. We already have units that don't serve anybody. We cannot even utilize these units anymore. So when you take everything into consideration, we are in trouble. I don't even want to talk about the fact that majority of investors, speculators back in the day used HELOCs or a line of credits from their current homes, their detached homes and other properties or other investments, and they were taking money from there, dumping it into down payments and all of that stuff, right? So everything is literally linked to one another. Now, you can add more to this equation. We have 5,200 of 416, but we also have, I believe, 2,400 in 905, right? Which is an adjacent city to Toronto, right? So if somebody is looking in this 5,200 bulk, maybe they can move out to Mississauga, right? Like 10, 15 minutes, half an hour, and purchase something there. So there's 2,400 units. I don't even want to touch Markham and Vaughan and Newmarket and all these other adjacent cities. They're large cities. Mississauga is over 1 million in population. So all of that will bring your price down. And I had people ask me directly, even in the comments on my channel. So, okay, so I have a question from a gentleman. He asked me specifically, I am selling my unit for 11 months, no offers, nothing is happening. What should I do? And I told him straight up, my friend, you have a problem. One, you're chasing your own tail. I don't know your unit, I don't know your situation, but most likely your price is not where it should be. Because as soon as you think about the price, you have to think about the next 10 or 30 guys where they're going to be in the next 3 months, right? And then you start chasing, right? You listed for, I don't know, 700, but somebody listed for 685. Guess how much is your property worth? 685. And it keeps going on. By the time you lower it to 685, they already lowered it to 650. And it keeps going. So the key is to be ahead of the market. But that takes guts, right? Because most are not either calculating or anticipating the worst. Like they're hoping, oh, 2025, interest rates are feathering, but there's so many other elements, and it's not only interest rates. You need the environment to be ready for everything: affordability, interest rates, desire, and everything else in order to have a sale. Sales don't just happen like that. Even though we had a case a few years ago where we had all the elements fall into place, government subsidies, we had low interest rates, we had the desire, we had no, uh, we had a high demand, and the affordability was questionable, but the demand was there. So I will leave you with this. I hope you got some value out of this. If you like content like this, there's other videos on my channel. Please click and continue to watch further, and I will see you in the next one.